Hey guys, welcome back to building the biggest theme park in Theme Park Tycoon 2. In today's video, we're going to be building the jungle area, which you guys can see over here in the corner of my screen. And this is episode 1 of the jungle area, although it's episode 3 of the entire series. So in this video, we're pretty much just going to be building the temple over there and just a generalized little jungle. So anyway, enough of that said, enjoy the video. Alright, so before we can actually start work on the jungle area, yeah, we need to deal with these guys. Because right now, well, yeah. So we need to sort that out, and we need to actually let them into this area. But as you guys know, guests are wildly infuriating when it comes to placing trash. So, before we do anything, we need to actually place some trash cans around here. Also, I know that like 20% of you guys are from the States, but in England, it's a bin. Anyway, with that said, let's actually place them down. They need to be absolutely everywhere. Don't want to see any rubbish around here. Alright, I'm pretty sure we've rubbish-proofed this area, so now we can actually let in the guests. And the first thing to do is to build this path. Unfortunately, I don't think they can walk through this, can they? No. I guess we're gonna have to get rid of these railings. That's fine though. They can all walk through here. We can leave these two, but they need to walk through here. Who's gonna be the first victim? Grayson. Let's see. What area are you going to go to first? You're gonna okay. Okay, ignoring Grayson because he's some sort of alien who can walk through walls. Let's get on to actually building the jungle area over here. So pretty much in this jungle area, I'm going to be building a temple. I'll put up a couple references on the screen so you guys can see what I mean. So to start, I'm going to build a floor plan on what the actual temple will look like from the ground. I'm going to use concrete as it's just sort of a base floor. Inside this temple isn't actually going to be the place where the roller coaster is going to start, as obviously we need to work on the first roller coaster. But I was thinking almost the temple could be the entrance to the roller coaster, and then it goes underground and that's where it actually starts. So I think this is a pretty decent floor plan, and now that I'm looking at it like this, it kind of looks like a dog. We're going to ignore that and just say it's a temple. So obviously I'm going to be building like an outside area here, all the greenery. There's going to be like some random little rides here just to fill the space, so it'll be fine. So let's start construction on the actual build. I'm going to start off with building a ton of pillars, as the pillars are going to be the main source of holding up the place. Because unlike a normal building, I want it to be open and visible from the outside. Right, this looks like a complete mess right now, but trust me, it will look better. Now, just after I've placed all of these pieces, I'm thinking that the Roman posts will look better, just because they look older and like more grand. If I color these like a brownish green, it would look better. So let's do that. We want it to be a bit greenish, as if it's been engulfed and involved into the jungle, but obviously we don't want it to be crazy. I think that looks pretty cool. It looks almost like an ocean monument, but I think as a jungle, it'll be pretty cool, and we'll mix it with brown later on. It's more just supposed to give the rusty look. So let's go ahead and place these back. Just to say, I'm gonna add bigger parts to these pillars, well, at least bigger pillars, you know, every once in a while, just to give it more depth, because right now it's just, I mean, they're all just the same. It's sort of boring. Now we've got the base plan of the pillars. Between some of these pillars is actually going to be walls, so I should probably place those in now just so I can get a proper base plan of how big this building's going to be. Unlike with the poles, I'm actually going to go with bricks for the walls, just because then I can add broken bits like this. It's just, if I have broken bits in the wall, it just makes it, again, look more authentic and older. I'm not going to add too many broken walls, as I don't want to go over dramatic. Alright, I reckon that's looking pretty good as a base plan. Now for the roof, I actually don't know. It's going to be very difficult to do. I might use primitives around the top just to give like a wide, almost base sort of. I don't know. Alright, so after a long and painstaking process of literally just placing primitives around the world, we've managed to create a line of primitives above these pillars. Now what I want to do for these little points pointing out here, is I want to have a little dome roof, and then there'll be one big dome roof over here. So I think if we're going to want to actually make some proper progress, we should probably start on those. So I have a really bad feeling that this is going to be horribly difficult, but we should get it done. And look what I found. The perfect piece. I technically should have known that this is here, but let's just go on the fact that I 100% knew this was here. So now we can actually start to build what I meant. And by dome, I didn't actually mean a full-on dome, I meant something more like this. However, I want some details up here, so we can create like a little bit like that. There will actually be a dome over here. Even though this one's not technically a dome, the one over here definitely will be. So I think also while I'm doing this, I'm going to actually start to build up the sides on the roof here, just so that it can speed along the process. As you know, when I come to do the entire roof, it's going to be an absolute pain. But because you guys are definitely going to like and subscribe, it'll be worth it. That means you should like and subscribe. So even though these corners actually have the same sort of connections, the same eighth piece of a dome, the actual centers, the areas over here, here, and here are going to be different. You'll just have to watch to the end of the video to find out what happens. You know, while I'm building this, I'm just thinking about how easy the desert area is going to be, or at least the main structure. Because obviously as a desert area, I'm going to be doing the Great Pyramid of Egypt. I'll also hint to some of the upcoming episodes. Okay, there we go. I think that's looking pretty decent. So pretty much what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start a time lapse, which is just going to be me building the roof over here. And I may just do some commentary over the top, so yeah, you guys will have to wait and see. Anyway, roll the time lapse. So I'd like to use this time pretty much to say thank you so much for the support on the channel. I know it's a brand new channel and the amount of support we've been given in the first couple weeks is absolutely insane. It's the fastest growing channel I've ever had organically, and it's just amazing. But there's always room for improvement. So remember guys, if you can subscribe, it would really mean a lot, and it would really help out when supporting the channel. I've seen that a lot of people are enjoying this series, and I'm enjoying making it, honestly. This video, I'm recording this specific voiceover the day before I'm going to upload this video, and I can say that it's taken me ages to work on it. I've had to do other stuff in my day, which means I have less time for YouTube, which means the videos have taken longer, so that's sort of annoying. But long story short is that I'm trying to get into more of a schedule. So my aim for this video is to upload at 8 PM GMT on Saturday. That's British time, because I'm from England. You can check that in your actual home time. But yeah, if you guys have any better ideas, leave them down in the description. I'll make a comment instructing you how you can properly do that. It would just really help out in involving you guys on the decision making on when these videos are going to be made and uploaded. Anyway guys, back into the video. So this is looking pretty good right now, and you guys are probably wondering why there are so many ledges around here, like here, here, and you know, this whole part area here, and also why there's a hole here. Well, pretty much, in the ledges, I'm going to be putting statues. I think that will just make it look more authentic and older, as you know, they used to put a lot of statues up. And this hole over here is what the coaster is actually going to come out of. So while I was building this, I was thinking that we can have the coaster be underground here, and it will shoot like a hydraulic launch coaster and shoot up through this hole, so through and outside of the temple. So it starts in here, not this specific room, it will be underground, probably in line with this, so probably out here. This will be the actual place where the coaster gets boosted from. But it will come out the top of the temple, and it will do the actual coaster area over here and over here. So that's why there's this big hole here. So now I think it's probably a good time to actually color the roof here and give it its texture. So the initial thought was to do something like this. Obviously it's not fully colored, but just something like this. But as you can see, a lot of it is going to be conflicting because we did make a lot of subtle details and adjustments to all the roof here. But I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to paint them black with these rocks, and then I'm going to add lines later on, just like I did over here, and I think that looks pretty good. So let's just first of all color this whole roof section with this same color. So I know right now it's quite unlike an actual temple, but we will fix that up later on. We're gonna actually engulf it into the jungle. Currently, well, there isn't much of a jungle, so we'll be building that later on. But first we need to actually work on the main temple. Okay, there we go. Now I think the temple is actually starting to take shape now. It looks pretty cool right now. I know there's no jungle around it. It looks more just like an oddly shaped building with a crazy roof. But it will look really cool when we start to add the details. So cool that I might even start to add the details right now. Let's initially just put some like greenery throughout the roof and the walls to sort of make the building more, well, as I've said a million times now, engulfed in the jungle. So I think this is really starting to look cool. Now for the thumbnail, I want to actually put the temple in the night. So just before I finish up the details here, finish up placing some trees around here, I'm going to actually place some torches. I'm trying to actually think what can fit well with the theme. So let's see. If I put a torch next to that, yeah, that looks pretty decent. It's not perfect, but we need some sort of light source and nothing's gonna be perfect, so it's fine. If you guys have any better ideas on what we can use for lighting, then put them in the description. I will use torches and sort of lamps on the wall to actually light up the area. It won't just be these, but you guys can leave your ideas in the description, as I will try and incorporate your guys' involvement as much as I can. Okay, that's starting to look properly cool. Now let's just add some trees to this jungle. I'm going to try and use bigger trees, as it can just fill the space much easier, as we don't really want to be placing the same sort of trees everywhere. But let's just start to almost develop the jungle. Even though we're actually starting to build the proper jungle, this is not going to be the only episode on the jungle. There will be another one after this at minimum, so you guys can wait and see for that one. Okay, so I think this is looking pretty good for episode 1 of actually building the jungle area. We have the main temple and we have a rough sketch of where the actual jungle is going to be. So now we're going to end the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and like I said before, if you guys can subscribe, it would really mean a lot. This video took ages to create, almost a week of straight recording and editing. So if you guys can like and subscribe, it would really help out the channel. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned.